a calorie macro app used to have a MyFitness Pal. Any better options these days? You know, if you have 10 minutes, you can build this, right? Instead of building an app, we're going to build this off of ChatGPT, and our data is going to get saved on a spreadsheet. That way, if you want to do something else with your data, such as, for example, look at your trends or visualize it, you can easily do so. Okay, so let's create our own GPT. We need to give it a name, a one-sentence description of what it's about, and our instructions. And I already asked ChatGPT to help me build the instruction or the prompt. So now the next step is to connect it to our Google spreadsheet. And in OpenAI, we can do this through actions. I just want to mention that this is called different things depending on what AI provider you have. In Claude, this is called tools, and the instructions that we just wrote out is called skills. And there's different ways to connect your GPT to another piece of software. There's API key, there's OAuth. These are technical terms that fortunately we don't have to worry about in this video. We are going to use our spreadsheet's unique URL to make that connection. But I'm not talking about the spreadsheet's link. That works for us humans who want to share our spreadsheet to another human and whenever we want them to make edits. For robots, if we want our robots to edit the spreadsheet, we will turn to AppScript, which we can access through the extensions. With AppScript, we can write code that will affect our spreadsheet. Here, we simply want the spreadsheet to accept edits from our custom GPT. And based on Google's documentation of how this thing works, it needs a function called doPost to accept data posting. So here's what I'll do. I'll talk to my AI and tell it the situation. Hey, I need a doPost function that will write my calories and macro estimates on this spreadsheet. Or I'm also making my code available if you want to copy paste that. Next, now we're going to try to get that unique URL that I was talking about earlier to connect our GP and the spreadsheet. So we're going to have to deploy this as a web application. And here we're going to run into a permission issue. You'll need to verify that this is a code that you authorize. This is our own app, so we trust it. And voila, now it's deployed, and you're going to have to look at this URL. It's called web app URL, and we're going to give that to our AI and ask it to create a script that we're going to have to put into our GPT action, and it should give you the code. Okay, so we're almost there. Note that OpenAI here wants you to have some form of privacy policy, especially if this GPT is going to be available for other users. But for me, this is a personal GPT, so I just put in a random website, one of my websites here, because I'm really the only one who's going to use this thing. All right, save it, and now it's time for a test. Let's take the Starbucks coffee. All right, looking good. Click allow. Great. Let's see if that got saved. Amazing. If you want, you can spot check the estimates to Starbucks official site and align. So this is great. You just created your own fitness pal.